Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Talk of the Town. Tonight's Men and Women's Mental Health Group. Uh, I am now waiting for the host that do the most, Big Coast, to tap in. Once he tap in, you already know we're going to get to that. Um, all is welcome. I'm going to go light my one of my babies here, and I'm going to wait for the host, and then we're going to do what we do. Yes, sir. Hope everybody day was dope. The weekend, week. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Talk of the Town Tuesday night Men's Mental Health Support Group. Again, Women's Mental Health Support Group. You know, once again, I am waiting for the host, Big Coast, and when he tap in, man, we just going to give you all a good 2 hours. Of some liveliness. Yes, sir. Today was a good day. Hope everybody is channeled in and all of that. Yes, sir. We'll go this way with it. Let me see. Let me back this up just a little bit. Boom, boom. Just a little bit. Boom, boom. Yeah. Let me see how we looking. Yeah, I kind of like that. So tonight, man, uh, we going to have some discussions. No particular topic in specific, but we all know how, what I'm saying, we could go to 0 to 100 real quick, and I'm gonna just let it do just that, man. You know, there's the host right there, Big Coast. So we're gonna tap him in. I got the Shalal Raekwons on tonight, man. The regular New Balances. I'm regular. So you know, see, man, super regular, man. Super regular.
Peace and blessings. Peace. Peace.
Peace, King. And you?
Good with you. Not
Love
much.
you. Love you.
Love you too, bro. How was your day?
Yeah, wow. Beautiful, man. I went back to the essence, man. Um, spent hella time today outside, man, getting back in tune, just taking note, man, to what you and, listening to Martin Miller and a couple other people, man. When we delegate, we try to uplift one another and point one another in the right direction. So, I just took my people's advice today, man, and went on ahead and jumped out there, went on my walk, got in tune, went live a little bit. I know you've seen that. And just share with the people, man, but the original format pretty much. How you? How was work?
Work was, regular. I did some writing today, different type of writing. I wrote a little, a while back. I wrote. I started writing a little web series. You know,
Okay.
like, and I jumped back into it today, kind of like
Nice.
some finishing touches on it.
Can you see my head? Am I good? Not to cut you off. Am I good? Am I balanced? I'm
Yeah,
regular?
you good.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did a little writing today. Cleared the mind. That shit made work go by fast. Cause I still take my calls, still take customers, still do the credit cards at the end, but you
Right.
know, writing today was different because it's different from rhymes because with the rhyme it's more of a mood
Right.
thing.
Right.
Like when I'm writing my rhymes, it's more of a mood thing with me. So today I was actually in my element. I was writing for my web series, a little comedy, you know, and sooner or later I'm going to be bringing that to y'all. I've been writing that for about a year now, maybe longer than that, maybe two. Just trying to get it right, retweak it, and
I'm here, King. I'm here.
just how I was saying, I'm always being creative. I'm always looking for creative people. Like I was looking for or we still looking for artists to be a part of the cipher, singers, rappers, spoken word. I'm gonna make another post. I'll probably go live this time, and and let people know I'm really interested in the artist to come through and show us what you got, and we can display it for the world. But also, like I said, I am a writer. I got a little scripts and little web series, little comedic skits, little serious things. And so if anybody is down to act, and be funny or be serious or play a role, or you know,
Peace
I'm
peace
you
to
know
everybody that's tapping in.
I'm here.
Welcome.
I'm trying to do creative things for Talk of the Town coming forward. You know, idle time is the devil time. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
keep my time busy, you know. So being back into the writing, it's not so much frustrating as the rap because the rap writing lyrics come natural, songs come natural, but I'm more competitive with the rap.
Mm.
So it's like I'm trying to top myself.
Okay. Okay. I see that.
So when I'm writing like a little script or something, I'm ultimately creative. So I'm thinking of the craziest shit to say if it's a comedy,
Right.
or if it's a street shit, I want it to be serious. Right now, I'm trying to learn about. I've been looking. I watched a video last night for about 2 hours about just directing, small time directing. And I like even you even see it in some of the regular skits. Like
Okay.
I think 50 Cent had a skit when he was pimping Curly, and he would be in the car and he would be playing another person, and they would
Okay.
cut back, and it would go from one person to another person. So I'm just
Right.
trying to sharpen up directing skills because I am looking to make a little mini web series. We are looking to add other things, other chapters to the Talk of the Town. Even though tonight is men's mental health, we are talking about things that we use to escape from our mental health. Like today, Bump went on his trail. He also showed the Legos and the cut, which warmed my heart up in that video. Because I've been telling them.
And with my Trump hands, Marcus, you was the only one that I exposed the Legos, back doing my Legos. You were the only one, my Trump hands, you
And
know?
that warmed my heart up. And today, I had a chance to really get a release and write some good material, not music, but just some good material that I plan to bring to y'all, and hopefully y'all can help me bring it to life, you know. And I can write something, and Stanford can have a Michael B. Jordan, because he just won the Oscar. Maybe I can be Ryan Coogler, I write a lot of shit. I want to learn how to direct. I want to bring shit to people. Talk of the Town wants to bring things so we can champion our own instead of going out and having others champion us for us. Let's champion our own, But with that being said, this is Talk of the Town Tuesday night men's mental health show. Back on schedule, back on tack, me and Bump. And, the mental's been good on my end, Just,
Right.
I've been kind of focused on the show. My mindset has been, what can
Okay.
we do better? What can we improve? I'm buckling down with the spending, less smoking weed, buckling down on that, being mindful of that because,
Right.
like you said in the last show, it, it's a heavy ticket. It's a heavy ticket to put up every month. You know, Sometimes you can afford it, but is it worth it? You know, Sometimes
Mm.
you just tuck that money that you was gonna go buy them two little apes for. You know, Say that little 60, that little $70, that shit go a long ways.
So to the audience, to the people, I'm I'm in recovery. I'm no longer puffing weed. I'm picking up this cigar. More gentleman, uh, more relaxed, more adult like. So, I'm in recovery. Um,
Hey,
pat,
Bubba,
pat,
what's up? I'm on the show.
pat myself on the back. Also, too, Coach, I wanted to share with you today. I was on the phone with Tamara when I had got off the trail, and I was gonna go see Miss P today, but because we used to live in the same area.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I went to my mailbox instead because I still get mail that goes over there, which isn't too far from the trail. And I went today and I discovered that they gave me a Capital One joint. You know, when your credit is popping, people going to be trying to throw you stuff. And I just wanted to share with people, man, what it is. Boom, got
Listen to get
25.
excited.
Yeah, oh yeah, 2,500, little 2,500. They told me, um, they gave me an activation code. They told me to call ASAP. That Capital One joint do look good. You know what I mean? And that's part of that's part of the build in 2026. That's part of the building the credit score challenge, my people. Also too today when I went on the trail, I actually bumped into somebody who saw that I was live, and he didn't interrupt me at that point in time. But when I got off the live and we met back up on the trail, uh, he was actually talking to me and kind of intrigued in what I was talking about in conversation and, um, you know, me promoting tonight's group. Actually, he's entwined with a, a sound view out here, Coach.
That's
And
what's up.
yeah, he actually was sharing some thoughts and ideas. So I going to connect with him and pick his
You
mind.
gonna slick talk your way right into Soundview Riley. That's what you gonna do. That's what God got you on this green earth to do. Slick talk your way right into the spots we need. God bless.
So
They
you
don't put
already,
these people in your. You think these people in your path by coincidence?
I just have to keep my eyes open, bro. I just
You
have to
think these
continue to,
people are in your path for coincidence? They
well, talk.
know
Well, let's talk about it. But
it's
before we
only
do,
right because deep down
before
inside, the man upstairs, the man to the left of me, right of me, in front of me, everywhere around me, or the woman or whoever, that entity knows what we got going on, knows the prayers, knows the blessings that we're trying to bestow upon the people and receive, vice versa.
mm,
But he also knows who to put in front of and who not to.
right, right.
So it ain't no coincidence that these people is bumping in front of you per se than me. It's all done by design that you
So
meet all of these type of people.
the gentleman that I interacted with today, not only is he uploading things to uh, Sound View, he's also aware of Tel Aviv as well. So the conversation was definitely intriguing.
And it goes to show you that these people are placed there for us to see the signs to take advantage. They're
Right.
not there just to be there. Of all the places to be, somebody with Tel Aviv is going to be next to you. I can't see it. The light too, yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this card after the show. Uh,
And if
the
y'all don't know
Burden,
what hold on, but if they don't know what Tel Aviv is, Tel Aviv is the broadcasting network that everyone would upload a video for to so they can put it on television. It ain't just uh public access. Tel Aviv has access to global networks. We're just on public access because we got to start somewhere. Once we get connected more with Tel Aviv, we'll be more global. Soundview is a public access. Tel Aviv is the global network that supplies to all the other, publications. As of
right,
my understanding, you know.
right.
So
Um, so as I was saying, he wrote a book. He also told me if I wanted to write short stories, if I was interested in expanding my horizons, or anybody else other than me. Um, I want you. I'm gonna post this up. I want you guys to check him out. He
send
wrote a
that
book. What happened, Coast?
send that to me when we done.
Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely gonna do that. The name of his book is called The Burden of Evidence. It's a thriller, and his
Mm.
name is Buddy Howard. Again, his name is Buddy Howard. The name of his book is called The Burden of Evidence, and it's a thriller. So if anybody is into books, um, you could definitely pull him up. I have the website, I have his name and number. I also asked him, who
Yeah, go get a little book. We got books here. I'm just showing off my little bookcase. You probably can't see it, but
okay.
I read. I'm okay. I need
Yeah.
more, but I read. And
No,
then
no,
if we can go over here, I got a bunch of books over here too in this. And I read all of these. I read everything here.
right.
I just wanted. So I read. I'm well read. I'm not just some old loof. I read a lot of books. I'm different. I am cut from a cloth that's ignorant as fuck, but I also like to show y'all the other side where I like to read, I like to write, I like to be intelligent and show intelligence. So, and it's
And
mental health. Tonight, you know, bumps in recovery. He don't smoke no more. Cigaring it out, which is 10 times worse than cigarettes. But that's nor here or there, you know.
Oh, man. Can you cut me some slack, little young ass
What's
boy?
my favorite book? I'm gonna show you right now. Hold on.
Okay. Welcome to Talk of the Town. Everybody's welcome. Mr. Crawford, if you want me to tap you in, send a request. If anybody wanna
I read
come,
this all the time. The Dick Gregory, what is this? Defining Moments in Black History, Reading the Lies. I read this book all the time by Dick Gregory.
good
This is
shit.
a dope book. So I'm letting y'all know that I read, like, I'm on different shit. But I'm also weird and I'm freaky, so I read shit like this too. Y'all probably wouldn't even know I had this. 50 Shades of Grey and all that. That's that. Yeah, these books is, you can only read these once. It's pervert books. But I got all types of shit. I'm into all types of shit.
No, that's a good thing. That's a
So,
good
so
thing.
it went from it goes from Dick Gregory to 50 Shades of Grey. You know, my mom gave me mad Omar Tyree books that I read. I got informal books. I got Warren Buffett. I got 6 Bibles in here. So, and that's different Bibles too, not just 6 type of, like, the Quran is in there. Shit is in there. Nigga, yeah, you laugh because that 50 Shades of Grey, that shit is different. That book is it's like porno. So
Damn.
you can only, yeah, you can only read it once. But I read it. I read all 3 versions, you know.
Yo, can I share with you some like what I be reading? Like
What?
I kind of got away from reading, because once I started diving into the Bible, it kind of like it consumes me so much to where I really don't want to tap into no other book.
Mm.
Um, and anybody, before you do dive into your literature, pray before you get into it and ask the higher power for sight beyond sight.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we may be reading something, but that's all we doing is reading it. So I want to just show you guys, a little bit of what I'm into. Okay. Can you
What's
see
that?
it? Hold
Hold it
on.
back. Yeah, I read a lot. I got a lot of books. It's white, so the light showing on it, I can't see it. Just read. Just say the name, bro.
It's called The Greatest Secret.
Oh, okay. The Greatest Secret. I read that many a times and watched the videos on YouTube. That's a good book, bro.
But it's 2 books, right? You
Yeah,
have
that's a good one. That's a good one.
you have The Secret, and then you have the bigger book, which is The Greatest Secret. And again, this was given to me by one of my boss because I was um, doing maintenance prior to my injury and all in all, and she wrote on the inside something real dope and sentimental. So
That's a
wherever you go, I still have it. I'm in tune, and I appreciate it. And yeah.
that's a good book. So you want? I can pull out. I'll pull out a few classics too, since you want a classic. Art of War, Sun Tzu. Read it many a times. And this a man book. They be like, oh, this is what men read. Da, 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 da. Yeah, we read books like this.
But you want to know something too, Coast, which is dope? Because a lot of people, we read those books when we get incarcerated.
Yeah, and I never been, so that's crazy.
So for you to be able to pick up the books outside, and a
Like
person like
this,
you,
Art of Seduction.
yeah, a person like you who's never been incarcerated, who has this type of literature, this type of eye power, I want to first tell you that says a lot about your character, your characteristics, your mannerisms. Because a lot of people, we don't pick up books until we go to jail and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Or and,
Nah,
and
I'm
let's just put
always
in
into that shit. I just got different type of shit. I like to learn, bro. So a lot of these books are like study books,
right,
like
nice.
like world history, shit like that. And it's mad thick. Like that's a study book. So I know a
Mm,
lot about history because I study this shit.
right, right.
Or like I got the Book of the Dead, that Egyptian Book of the Dead,
So
Da
can I
Vinci
ask you a
Code.
question? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So when you thinking outside the box, right?
Mm-hmm.
When when somebody says, "Do you believe in the Walking Dead?" Right?
Yeah.
Do you visualize the TV show, or do you look at it on a whole nother spectrum?
I look at it both ways
Okay.
because the TV show is the final look of it. Not so much they've been killed and they came back to life,
Talk
but
about
the
it.
TV show is the final look of the Walking Dead, meaning like brainless, mindless, thoughtless, emotionless.
Mm,
You know, they just on that type of scale.
right,
Yeah, they on that type of scale where they brainless, thoughtless, mindless, emotionless. There's
right.
a hotel put in in the book. Yeah, and I always knew that. You answer the rest. There's always a tale that they put in the book. It's a metaphor, and you know, it's a lot of Walking Dead right about now. It's a lot of people like the younger people call them NPCs. You know, in the video game world, the people that are in the game that's part of the game, but don't do nothing. Like every time you play the game, they in the same spot every time, and they got the same catalog. Like that's what the young people call them. You know,
Mm,
we was calling them brain dead when like airheads, people that just they're
right.
they're
I
not there. They're
right.
they're like walking dead. They don't know what's going on in reality. They don't know what's
Mm,
going on in the world. They don't really know nothing. And I'm not talking about people that suffer from mental disease. I'm talking about people like me and you. Let's just get those people out the way, the people that are suffering from mental disorders. There's people like me and you who went to school with us, who had two parents, they just up here, they done checked out. They're programmed, yes, because a lot of people are programmed. We all been programmed, but sometimes you got to reprogram yourself.
mm.
And that's,
Re,
sometimes you
re,
got to look outside. Like, I've
reprogram.
always been taught to question everything.
Right.
So
Reprogram.
I
Reset.
didn't really, it took me a long time to believe in shit because I need to find the answers before I believe.
Mm,
Before I believe in anything, I need to find the answers. So I read a lot of books. I need to know. I'm always on a need to know basis. So there's a lot of how-to books and books for dummies. I got Wall Street for dummies. I got real estate for dummies. So it's a lot of shit that how to. Plus, I like to talk. So I don't want to bullshit nobody. So I like to be
mm,
well rounded in my conversation so I can fit in any circle in life. Because I can give you something from here to here to here to here. I'm well rounded in my conversation. And then if I don't know something, I shut the fuck up and I let people you have the floor. If we talking about information, if I don't know, you got the floor, because I'm a sponge until I die. We all sponges until we die. So we got to
mm.
soak up the knowledge, soak up the information, soak up the love.
Right. 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 Like that.
You only get one shot at this shit.
Mm.
We only get one shot at this shit, bro. Don't get two.
So let me ask you a question. Also, too, it was quite interesting. Me and Tamar talked for damn near 6 hours this morning. So we probably went to bed like 5 this morning and shit. But
Hmm.
things too that we was also talking about was the AI and how AI is taking over and how we're gonna help it take over. It's almost like
I don't think we're gonna help it take
okay,
over.
okay,
I think
elaborate. Yeah.
I think that I think
Wait, before you answer that, just take a quick moment if you have to. Let your mind breathe because I want
nah, listen.
to. No, no, I really want to dive into this
Listen to what
because,
I'm saying.
okay,
It the way things are, the way the world's set up, everything has been programmed into us for convenience. So now that we know we got to have everything at our best convenience as the consumer, now the seller knows that now. So the seller is thinking, well, they want their convenience. So what do we do to make things convenient?
mm,
So it starts in the warehouse before it even gets to us. It starts in the warehouse. It starts with the machinery. You know, certain machines come in, AI come in. I seen an AI make 25 sandwiches in 3 minutes.
mm,
Now, if I'm a Subway or Joe Jersey Mike's, I'm looking at that like we need to invest in that,
wow,
and that's how they're gonna think. Then you have the AI, which you might be talking about, like the computerized AI. I don't trust that. Connecticut already has laws on that to
mm,
where you can't, like, it's hard. I don't trust that AI because it'll get so good they can put me in a place where I've never been and say I was there and have me on all the cameras just like they were in the movies. But as far as helping the I think out of convenience, we need to invest in home to operating AI. AI is already outsourced humans in job market. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It starts in the warehouse. It starts in the jobs. It starts in convenience. So we got to get back to a society of starting to stop being so lazy because we've gotten lazy because that's what convenience makes you lazy. And then when
right.
we don't want to do nothing, that's what we tell the sellers because we're buyers. If you want to look at it like that, you're either a buyer or a seller. So we're buyers in a mass. So the sellers are looking around saying, well, they're lazy. So we got to move faster. We got to move faster. And
You
then and
know,
it's just like the food,
right.
you
I was
know,
not to cut you off. I was in the grocery store and they have a damn robot that be just patrolling the store. I guess.
making sure you ain't stealing. People are stealing.
Yeah,
Invest in how yeah, we
but
do.
they it automatically picks up wet spots and it cleans shit and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like it
Mm-hmm.
was weird
Because
to me. Like, yo, what is that? That security?
it's taking the place of the janitor.
Right, right. And when I seen that, I was so flabbergasted, like, yo, like, what is that? And somebody had to really explain to me because the shit got eyes and cameras and it's just constantly moving and it knows when not to bump into shit and it's just electronically out of this world. And when I seen it, I was just saying to myself, like, damn, yo, we doomed and we don't we
Not really though, but see, one thing that they were saying in the comments, Auntie, my cousin Eric said, we do need to invest in the AI because there's no AI that's gonna run without human brain, without human technology, without human hands.
see that's the thing.
No,
It's
when you mean feeding it, I'm gonna break it down what you mean because I know exactly what you mean. Like
we're
on a
feeding it.
like
We're
on a
feeding it.
music scale, right? on a music scale.
Okay, go.
Like this is how they feed the AI on the music scale. Cause I did it and then I've noticed it, you know. So you'll go in the AI and you'll write a prompt, right?
Okay.
Let's say I want to write a song. So I'll write the verse. And AI will sing it for me. Give it. Sing it for me. Bop, bop, bop. So the more times you do that, the more times the AI learns. So now the AI may say something directly from my neighborhood in its algorithm because it picked up on it. So something that we say directly from Stamford, Connecticut, the AI may pick up on that and have somebody saying it in Georgia or somewhere because it's AI. So the more an artist feeds it, the more it learns, the more it learns. But what I mean replacing us, it's machinery wise. You know, we
Yeah.
gotta do so can like we ain't gonna be able to stop that music AI. Cause they're already using it to replace actors. They're already thinking about actors uploading their likeness so they don't have to act. The AI can just be them forever. And they can star in so they can star in movies forever. They're already thinking about shit like that. So that part of it is coming. We just gotta stop being so convenient and I like my shit to come in because we're getting lazy and then lazier we get, the AI come in and take right over. And the
Right.
next thing you know, you go in the grocery store, then there's a robot bagging you, there's a ring out, but like, you know, it's so much. Then that's the control. Like you said, you don't like the electric cars, they turn your car off at any time. And Tesla can do that, even though they say they don't. The more you feed the AI, the more the database does build, the more you feed it. It's scary
Right.
how fast it learns. You
Right.
know, and then you gotta realize the first
We're
time I heard
teaching,
about AI was
we're teaching
it
AI proper etiquette. We're teaching AI. Uh,
never
uh,
forgets.
listen, we're teaching the AI proper etiquette. We're teaching them the culture, everything. So it's master manipulation.
Nah, see the thing about AI, people have to realize that AI is the internet. It is the internet. We don't teach AI nothing. As long as the internet is alive, it knows everything. Because we go to the internet for everything.
So when we click on the
But when you
AI,
don't know how to spell a word till you want to put up a baby shower picture, it's on the internet. And you go to the internet for it. So now the AI can make a person that look like the people in the baby shower picture. How do you think they draw these faces up? Eventually, AI is gonna make a face that look like a real human, that look like somebody that's living. It's bound to happen.
but until then, I'm not. I'm
You are. We are now. We're on the internet right now, feeding AI. AI know about talk of the town. If you put Facebook talk of the town into an AI, they probably tell us our pages. Telling you, this shit is wicked like that. Yeah, because it has connections to the internet. AI is the internet. So if niggas wanted to beat AI, we would have to stay off the internet and go back to writing letters and shit. Yeah, and go back to writing.
right.
Cause that's what I do. Like when I'm being like I write all my raps in the phone. But if I'm really trying to be creative, I gotta go get a pen and put it down. Deep Blue was the first AI. It was created by IBM. Also created Alpha Zero. See, somebody know what they talking about.
That's Jerrell. Yo, Jerrell, would you like to come on? The floor is open. Welcome to Talk of the Town. Um, if anybody would like to come on, man, let us know.
That AI shit. See, niggas need to really really grasp it because it is the internet. It pulls from the internet. So I always believe that the AI is internet. As long as we feed the internet, AI will know everything.
Right.
Because it used to be Google. And then I used to be like, niggas gotta stop putting shit into Google. Google learning everything about everything. And then
Jerrell, it calls Jerrell's in. That's
I
the
see
one
you.
I was.
What's good, homie? What's good?
Peace, y'all. What's going
But
on? All
then
right, keep going.
the more and more I start fucking with the AI, I start noticing it ain't nothing but the internet. It's pulling all this information from the internet. It has, just imagine your brain, the internet. That's what the AI, the brain of the AI is the whole entire internet. From all the social medias, every website, every keystroke, everything. That's the brain of the AI.
Hey, Cole, it's so crazy what you say because it's I kind of just found out a lot of people don't know like Google, Chrome, all that stuff that we use and all those are surveillance systems. They're not used. Facebook. They're not used to. That's all they do.
They're
They're just
data
used.
to gather
They're
data.
used to gather data. That's all they are. That's what they're used for. Like if you really look them up, what they're in the business for, they're not in the business of social media. They're in the business of surveillance. That's what they do. You know what I mean? So anything that we put into social media, anything that we put into our phones, anything that we type into the computer, it records it and it just takes it in like a sponge. That's what it
Yep.
does. Like I was saying before, because I play chess. That's why I know. That's what Deep Blue is. Deep Blue is the first AI that they created to make it think on its own. So it beat a chess master.
Test
You know what
master.
I
I was
mean?
saying that. That was the first
Yeah.
time I heard of AI was that.
So
Yeah.
because they couldn't figure out how to make it think on its own. So they couldn't figure that out. So they had to deal with chess. Because you know, with chess, a chess master, if you are considered a chess master, you're 15 moves in advance to your move. So the AI learned that. So the AI must have been like 20, 30 moves in advance of the chess player or master, and it baffled him to what it was to do. You know what I mean? And I say that to say this, that they was thinking about that. Like, what if how could it reproduce? It done already reproduced
Already
its
did
own.
it.
It made another one better than what it was
It already did it.
on its
It has
own.
on its own. It's already like it's AI is already, they're lying to us. It's already sentient. It's already living on its own. It's living through us. We are the energy. It's a parasite first. Remember that. Always remember it needs a host.
Hmm.
That's why when people say uh it ain't nothing without humans running it, because AI is a parasite. You know, it has to feed on something, and we're feeding it, and it's just growing, and then it makes changes in its own algorithm
Mm.
through our changes. When culture changes, it changes because it has to, like he said in chess, it has to stay 20 years ahead of us, 15 years ahead of us, because it wants to.
It
Because
has to survive.
we program it that way to feel smarter than us.
Hmm.
You know, some of these niggas are probably typing in, "I want you to be feel smarter than every human." That's the code they probably put into the shit. So
Ask a
when you
question.
deal with it, it just pulls from the internet.
Can ask a question. What, when, and will it, and does it have feelings and emotions?
Feelings, I think it dictates
No.
emotion. It will never
No.
have it because
No.
emotion is a weakness, and it already
Yeah.
processes
It
human emotion as a weakness.
is a
They know our
weakness.
weaknesses,
Yeah.
and they're remember it's programmed to be like us because we're creating it. So we have to think like that. Like we can't create something outside ourselves. So it's us. It's not a dog. So it moves and thinks like us. So when it looks at that feelings, hell no. AI is stoic. If AI was a person, he'd be a stoic nigga because he understands the human psyche. It understands it. It understands the, it's fucked up, but it's there. It's here to stay. I don't want to worry about the internet AI. It's the AI that they want to replace in driving. It's the AI they want to get rid of the janitor, the receptionist. the carpenter, once they start trying to get rid of the plumber, they can't now. That's why they're saying plumbers are in the next 20 years will be making Michael Jordan money, and electricians will be because AI they haven't figured that out yet. They haven't figured AI haven't gotten to electrician yet. They haven't got a robot to get down and do what a human can do with the pipes. But sooner that what do you think they're doing? Because that's billions of dollars in solving problems. You know, remember
So,
when I tell you every billionaire is looking to solve a problem. So they're
so
running shit through AI,
right.
stock market. That's probably done now. The way the AI is, that shit probably no quarter releases and people just running the numbers through the AI and seeing what they say and picking it off that.
What do you
That
have
shit
to
is
say?
scary. Hmm?
About what he say. He's saying the truth. What he's saying is absolutely true. It's AI. That's how it is. I mean, it's even as far as when you go into McDonald's, when you go to order your food, when you go to the little machine standing right there, that's
Yeah,
AI. You know what I
that's
mean?
AI. Hmm.
So it's when you go to the checkout to the grocery store when you beep, it's Connecticut actually just passed a law where they said that can't be like that no more. Now if they have three cash registers, they have to have three humans. If they have four has to be even. You know what I mean? Because it's taking jobs. You know what I mean? So
Pretty
and
much.
like he said, at the end of the day, that's a billionaire that thought about that idea that's getting that money. He doesn't
He
care. You
doesn't
know.
care because because the quickest way you either gonna reinvent the wheel or try to fix a problem or come up with something world that nobody ever seen in the world to become a billionaire. These
Right.
niggas is using AI. They billionaires, and all they trying to do is make more money. And it's about control. So they use a lot of the things to control, and it's a lot of things that we like. Like when we play the video games, I love games, but AI run those games. When the computer steal the ball from you, when you keep doing the same move over and then he stop it, that's AI stopping you. You know, even when you in your search and you keep searching and searching, and then your history bar can repeat like what you like. That's the algorithm we talk about. What do you think the algorithm is? AI. You know,
Mm.
it feeds off what you people hate when I tell them what you see is what you like. Don't hate that because the algorithm gives you what you like and what you want to see. It pumps it because you set your own algorithm. It needs you, and then it'll work on its own. After a while, it'll work on its own, and it'll show you what you want. It'll never have feelings. It'll dictate feelings. Because you can go in AI right now and ask them about feeling, ask it, and it'll tell you all about feelings and tell you what you're feeling, which is crazy. But if you say I was going through a bad day and it'll tell you how to feel and what you should be feeling
And all that type of stuff will show up on your algorithm, to show up
on
on your
your
news feed,
algorithm.
and you just like, wow, what's going on? And then it'll put people that it'll show up on there, people that know you, and it just so happen they feel the same way that you do. That's why, and they're looking at, they know what they do to try to get you to communicate. This AI is
Yeah, they
something else,
can't
man.
like you know how they say, oh my phone listening. Everybody phone ain't listening. That's AI working good.
Yeah, yeah.
So we can't some of it we can't dodge because we feed it. We can stop being so convenient, you know, and we are customers at the end of the day. You gotta stop being so lazy. If we weren't so lazy, a lot of these AI couldn't be in place. But from Uber Eats to this to that, they understand the market. We are the market, and they're
We're the
gonna do
biggest
whatever it.
consumer. We're the least populated in the world. The I don't know, however, some people want to say the Black American, the
Yeah,
Afro
yeah,
American, or the
we have the 16th spending dollar in the world.
it's crazy,
Let them
Meaning,
speak.
like, if we were a
crazy,
country, we'd be about 16th,
Let them
15th, or
speak.
some shit like that.
crazy,
Let him kick his knowledge.
crazy. No, it's just true what he's saying. It's crazy how it is that how the mindset of that how we are, and what our spending power is and stuff like that. And then we really think that we are broke or we this and that, but we spend the most money. They just put that in our head to tell us that, but it's not. You know what I mean? We just not focused on doing the stuff in the right way. You know what I mean? We don't have a plan. We don't, and it's a lot of stuff that you brothers was talking about. Like it's really real that what you said. Like a lot of us, our parents didn't teach us how to do certain things like that. You know what I mean? They taught us how to get money and work, but that what about writing a check or balancing a check or this and that and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So it's different levels to it. You know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate what y'all be doing coming up here, even with the mental health. Not trying to get off course and stuff, but I suffer with that too. You know what I mean? Didn't know what it was until I ended up, addressing the situation. You know what I mean, and taking it head on. So this is a lot more stuff that I think a lot of us do need to deal with and talk about, especially us from the town. You know what I mean? We all
Yeah, for
from
real.
Stanford. You know what I mean? So a
Real.
lot of stuff that we are dealing with that's going on in our lives. Cuz said something earlier, we was dealing with stuff with family and stuff like that. It's a lot of stuff that people is going through that's dealing with that if you don't address that shit from back when you was a child, you'll never get away from it. You know what I mean? And you'll never grow past it. It's always gonna pull you back and set you back. You understand what I'm saying? But you need to deal with it head on and address it. You know what I mean? And it's a good thing that y'all doing. I definitely appreciate that. We need more people to come together with stuff like this too and leave, like I say, with certain things. Because like I said, I'm from the town. I know I'm from Stanford. I don't want to. I hate hearing all that East Side, West Side. I fucked all that bullshit. All
Yeah.
that shit is not even near no more. Really, all it is really is this Stanford. You know what I mean? But we know who we are. You understand? We are from Stanford. People need to come together and really focus in on certain movements and certain things that people are doing to show support to it. You know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate y'all doing it because we all from a different generation. I'm about to be 50. He 50 plus, and I know you ain't no 50. You in your 30 something. You know what I mean? If
Yeah, I'll
that.
take that.
You know
I'll
what I
take
mean?
that. I'll take that.
So, regardless of what, it's still, different generations that's in there, and we still got the whole thing. And what connects us all together is two things: is that we all, two things mainly. We from Stanford, and we dealing with the mental health issue. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, um, I think that's definitely something that we should definitely keep going on that and building on that. It's a touchy situation with some people, but fuck it, that's what it is. Sometimes, like you say, sometimes people don't like to hear what the truth is and the fact of the
Uh,
matter is. You know what I mean? But keep doing what y'all doing, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, I definitely appreciate that, and it helped
Thank you,
me
bro.
it helped me deal with certain things that I'm dealing with myself. So you know what I mean? Like yeah, like Eric said, stand for love. That's what it's supposed
Stand
to
for
be.
love. The size is dead. I like how you said that. The size is dead. It's just Stanford, bro. And I like that mindset because that's start of the vision right there. And divide starts, and then that starts, mental issues. Now I'm from the east side. Now I can't rock with these niggas, and it goes deeper than that, because if you can speak from a younger kid that probably was never into the beef, he inherits it, that mindset, not even the beef. He never threw a punch in his life, but his mindset is those West Side niggas. I can't. So, and then we all from Stanford. We all from the same neighborhood, same schools. Our moms probably went to the same high schools. Our grandparents, if they come from Stanford, went to the same high schools and schools. So we gotta look at things from a unified, especially people of our age that are in a. I don't know why we're not unified. We need to really start looking at it as a unification of the city because we all we got when it comes to the neighborhood, and we all we got when it comes to the neighborhood. And I'm a neighborhood type person. I like to see people flourish. That's why we have Talk of the Town. Mental health is a big thing in our community. Everybody's going through it. Somebody's going through something that's affecting your brain. Then add in drugs and alcohol, it don't make it no better, because it's deep when it comes to our community, and we don't talk about things, especially men,
Yeah, yeah,
especially
especially.
men. You know,
Especially, yeah.
we don't talk about nothing, and we got to start getting real with each other and calling each other out and looking out and checking in on each other and making sure we going to the doctor and doing the right thing so we can be around. If we got kids, our kids gonna have kids, and be around for our grandkids for those moments in their life and shit, and make more moments, because life don't just end, it keeps going, they said life is short, but for some of us it's going to be long, so we got to understand that, clean bill of health, life is long due to a freak accident or something, so we got to be mindfully prepared. Try to get your affairs in order, get your health right. I don't care what age you is. Well, do it, start now, because nobody can start it for you. Start now. Cause
I
And
guess
that's
what?
another thing. Go ahead.
Now, what you was gonna say?
That's another thing I say too, like how y'all sit down and you just talk about anything, and people to come up here and share stuff. Like I said, like what you was doing, like if they got plates or if they got something to help it, yo, it's just about it's a community thing. You know what I mean? It's a dude that he from the town too, Spanish dude that I grew up with. They from like the Springdale area, but they used to he had a little thing in Bridgeport where he was going. It was called El Barrio, and that means neighborhood. You understand what I'm saying? So I said, damn, look at that. He from Stanford, originally from Stanford, but he up in Bridgeport got his little thing in the club called El Barrio neighborhood. But you see how that neighborhood, like that's how we
Yeah.
are. Like
Hmm.
we was all like that. You know what I mean? So like I said, I saw what you was doing and the vision that you was doing and doing that. And more people need to do that, man. Like I said, like everybody got something. You got a little plate you selling or a little tag sale or something like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or whatever. This is what it's about, man, to get it out there and help with everybody together. You know what I mean? So, like I said too, I've been watching y'all for a minute, like I was telling Cuz. I was on it for a minute just watching and observing and stuff like that. But I was also dealing with my own stuff, you know what I mean? And like I said, I suffer with anxiety, you know what I mean? So, it took me a lot to, come up and, come up here and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So I had to, step up out of my comfort zone. And, and one thing that I was supposed to do. And, that's why, like I said, I do it. It's part of my therapy. You feel me? So,
Blessing, yo. It's a blessing you can even do that, because I know it's tough for us men to even step in the comfort zone, let alone come on a live show with no telling who gonna pop it. Because I remember I always tell Bunk, it ain't like, a mental health room where they close the door and nobody can film.
yeah.
People gotta be fully sure themselves before they come up here, because the camera don't lie. You can't, like, it sees every emotion, every flicker. Everybody's watching too, so you never know who's watching. So that's the message for the people out there too. If you're going through something, remember, this is a live show. I'm not trying to discourage you from coming up here, but be sure, understand, we're here for you, but also be sure, like he said, he had to be ready. It's okay to be ready. It's okay to say, I'm not ready, I'll just sit back and listen, because that's what our message is for. It is to get to the people to say, yo, we going through it too. I have mental health days too where I don't want to talk, I don't want to be around niggas, where, like he said, anxiety, where my anxiety get bad, where I want to be in the dark and just, mm. So
Jerrell, you a question.
Yeah.
How do you deal with your anxiety? I saw a post. We don't have to go back.
hold on 1 second, I'm gonna walk away, but y'all can keep going.
Okay. We don't have to go back 12, 14, 16 hours ago. But I saw you um, understood that you was a bit off, disturbed. Um, and when I saw that, I want to say I was one of the first to reach out, like, you good mentally. Um, I know last week was a rough week for me. I know what I've shared with the people. You guys coincided real heavenly because we're all battling with situations of old that can, be undaunting to our future and what we're building on. And like you said, if we don't have a head-on collision to what hamper us or kind of keep us in a position to where we're kind of timid to, take that first step. Understanding that I am the face, I am one that's gonna try to play the front line for us. And I would love to hear from you. How do you deal with your anxiety? How do you deal with your ADHD or your bipolarism? And a lot of times we don't have to go to the doctor to understand or understood that we are diagnosed with a lot of different things from our parents. They say the apple don't fall too far away from the tree. So, how do you deal with that? How, but
Well,
what is some
I used to. There's a couple ways I used to deal with. I used to deal with it in a good way, and a bad way. Both ways. One of the ways I used to deal with, I didn't know because I didn't know what was wrong with me. You know what I mean? So I was dealing with it through self-medicating, through violence. I was dealing with it self-medicating through drugs, alcohol, sex, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of things that I was doing that. Um, I didn't know why I was running to those things or participating with that type of activity, but it was because I was dealing with that because of what my mental health was. Now, once I ran into the wall and went away for a while, you know what I mean? I had no choice but to really deal with my mental health and what was going on with me because I wanted to stop what was going on. So that's when I ended up uh, um, reading on myself once again, reading up on it, but then also dealing with people that was in there and then finding out what was wrong with me. And then from there, dealing with counseling and so on and so forth. Then actually going back and dealing with the situation that like I said, finding what my triggers were, why I was acting in the way that I was. And I didn't, because I didn't know were certain things that in my life that was under, rocks or whatever under the stone that was there that was bothering me, you know what I mean? So I went to those and I started turning rocks over, finding out, what the fuck is going on? Why am I acting like this? What? Then sometimes I would hit like, a landmine, they call it. I would hit a landmine and it would boom, blow up in my face and something would happen and I would be like, oh wow. And I would, now I gotta address that issue. You know what I mean? So that's what I did, and I'm still turning over rocks and landmines. Sometimes they blow up, sometimes they don't, you know what I mean? So, but now how I deal with it now is I try to definitely address the situation and I definitely don't hold it in. I don't let it fester inside of me, because I start thinking a lot. I start internalizing and thinking and overthinking and stuff like that. So I don't try to do that now. You know what I mean? And I just stay around, people, places, and things. I do stay away from a lot of people. I don't come out too much and stuff like that unless it's time to come out for something. You know what I mean? Work or whatever and stuff like that. But that's what come up with time, you break up out of that. I have my good times and bad times and so on and stuff like that, but I would say that's what I definitely do. I deal with it head on and I know what it is. I acknowledge it, you know what I mean? I don't just go, something happened like that, I just don't go run and go get drunk or go smoke on something or go do what type of activity, you know what I mean? I'm getting too old for that type of stuff anyway. So I don't know if that answered it.
right, right. So
I'm glad you said that.
I
That
identifying, knowing oneself, identifying and understanding triggers. But then it goes a little bit further on disarming those triggers. A lot of us, we may not know how. A lot of us may not, have that grit. Again, we can be distracted by the worldly desires and the cosmic challenges of life's unbalances, which will enable us to identify with the triggers. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's been going on for generations and within our life, because we're older men. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us, like you said, we've been dealing with game changers, life trauma, life challenges, life's experiences. And I'm gonna use an I statement. Um, Being that this is created for us and by us, it gives me a better chance to be more aware of triggers and being able to sit back as an older gentleman, even though we can become emotional because we're emotional beings, first and foremost. But separating the emotion, you know, from the actual facts. Um, I became better in identifying. Um, it's always room for growth. Um, but what I would like to say to the people is utilize this support system. I wanna word this wisely. Utilize this support system. Talk of the town on Tuesdays. Sometime it can go over a Tuesday, in which why we created Sunday Fun Day. Um, you know, we identify the triggers, we reach out, we utilize that support system to the best of our advantage, and we move on. Teach one, each one. It makes us, we become better. It makes us better people. It makes us better friends, fiancés, boyfriends, brothers, sisters. Uh, we don't want to put a cap on ourselves. And when we don't reach out, because sometimes we shut down. We like, oh man, Jerrell, he got a bunch of shit going on. I ain't gonna call him. I'm dealing with this shit with my whatever I got going on, and I know he's dealing with some stuff. I posted something last night, but that doesn't mean I shut down and not reach out to that brother because again, at times, people, we could be going through so much, and we never know when these walls can be closing in, even on the greatest. So let's just continue to use this support system and let's not be narrow-minded and think people don't care because we do care. You know, if I ever get in that mindset, oh, people don't give a fuck. That's not a good sign. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue to tap into one another, show love, check up on one another, check up on one another's mental. Tomorrow's not promised, man. 226. We're in the middle of the third month of the year. We're losing people, which is also too heavy on the mental, especially if we're not connected with the people that we've lost or striving to get connected, so we have to be mindful and check up on one another, man, and utilize the support system. If you guys don't want to tap into Talk of the Town or somebody that one feels, confident in sharing confidential things with, there are hotlines where we can call people. The 211. I think the 411. I could be wrong, but if I am, somebody out there correct me properly to where we can get on the phone and call a hotline. Depression is real.
Yeah.
Mental health is real, and once we really tap into that and understand our triggers, then we could defend that a whole lot more. And with that being said, the floor is open.
I was if coach, if you didn't understand, I was gonna share a little something else too, since you were saying right now going through some stuff right now with my family. My sister, she got cancer, brain cancer. So she been going with dealing with it for a while. A lot of us didn't know in the family. Um, so she's in hospice right now, and she got six boys. So that's what I was kind of venting about when I was on the joint. It was something similar to, I had just dealing with some stuff, and at that time I didn't want to be told no. You know what I mean? So
I
that's
feel
what
you.
I was dealing with. So it's just it has bugged me out now that with the situation that's going on with it, how I used to act and react with certain stressful situations. So, it's a lot of emotion that's built up with it and stuff like that. But I know that I can't react the way that I used to in an immature manner. You understand what I'm saying? So
At
that's
all.
the thing. That's the thing now. And like I said, that was a trigger. A trigger of mine was being told no, anger, something that you ain't got no control over. You know what I mean? I don't got no control over that. You know what I mean? So it's just like you just want to just wild out and act stupid. You know what I mean? So this is a time that, like, where I'm thankful that at least I had practice to be ready for a situation like this. You understand what I'm saying? So, and it's hard as fuck. It definitely is, but you know what I mean? It's how you deal with it. You know what I mean? So every
Yeah,
day I put one foot on the. Every day I get out the bed, I put one foot on the ground, one foot at a time, and you know what I mean, and so on and so forth. So
Them old feet. You got them old feet, Jerrell.
yeah, that's the tough one to deal with, man. And no
Prayers to you and your family, man.
prayers,
And
prayers.
yeah, we're here as a commodity, as a family, as a community, as a
Yep.
unit. So whenever you do, deal with the inner and you choose to come out, don't do it to where it takes you so far where you don't come out. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we here, man. And I'm saying that for everybody who's tuning in and who's
Yes,
listening.
yes.
Yeah.
Anybody that's tuning in, and always remember that mental health is an ongoing thing. It's an everyday thing. You don't defeat it. It's not a there ain't the cure for it. Because some people want a cure. There ain't no cure. It's an everyday process. It's a up and down. It's like life. You get good, you get bad. But now when it comes to the bad, you kind of see what triggers it, what brings on the bad. You can kind of weave some of it. Some of it is out of your control, where, like he said, it only matters like on how you react to it. But other things are within your control, where you can get when your mental is right, and you see that is within your control, you can react in a manner where you can kind of control the situation, and then it's better for the future of your mental health. Because a lot
Right.
of things are built on the future of how things are for you, per se. Because the mental ain't always about the right now. Some of the mental decisions that we make play on a role in the future. We got to
Right.
always realize that.
not to cut your wisdom, what you're saying, and that's what I always used to do, Coast. When I used to come into situations like this, because I went away, I was incarcerated for a while, and I got out. When I got out, I started building life. You know what I mean? And I got away from my stuff that I did that kept me stable, kept me, on grounded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I got cocky. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I got it beat. I got it. I'm doing what I'm doing in the street. Just like people, like addicts, same
Yeah,
difference. I
yeah, I know
got it.
that feeling. I know the feeling. Getting
I got
cocky, getting beside yourself. Yeah, I know that feeling.
and I got way off of that. And then real life just started hitting me. More things, hitting my boom, 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 but I'm getting through it. And then what I started noticing, I started doing was all the stuff that I worked for before then, I didn't give a fuck about no more. And I just destroyed it. It didn't matter. And then once I got grounded and I got myself grounded again, now you look back and it's like, God damn, now I gotta rebuild all this shit
All this
all
shit that you
over
got.
again. And you know what I mean? And now I got to do it in less time because look at what I took with this. So you know what I mean? It just plays a lot on your mental. So that's why I say
Yeah.
now I just take myself back. Okay, refocus, stay, like you
Yep.
said, stay focused, don't let the blinders, don't just go everywhere with it, you know what I mean? And just stay focused and don't let that knock me off of my square, you know what I mean? Stay grounded. That's basically what I'm trying to say, you know what I mean? So rather than destroy everything around you, you know what I mean? Because I'm just dealing with that situation right now, you know what I mean? So That's where I am right now with my mental health. And like you said, it don't stop. You got to work on that every day because you
Hey,
never know. You never know when you open that door what's going to be.
you know, it's like grief. Like, grief is come like a thief in the night. You can just be sitting. I remember when my grandfather passed, I think I was in a party. I'm in a party. I don't know where I was at. Not like an actual party, but around people, and grief hits you. I don't already had grief, but a thought will come, grief will come, and next thing you know, your whole mental and your mood change. So it goes back with the mental. You don't know how strong these situations are. Sometimes when you refocus, you gotta take yourself out the situation, and you gotta kind of look at it from third person. It's almost like you watching. It's like an out of body. That's why I always explain it. It's like an out of body experience. It's like I'm seeing myself make that decision before I do it. So in the mental, it's like I'm preparing myself for the outcome. So I know how to handle it. And I know how to move within the future too when I see my triggers. Because like seeing your triggers, you got to prepare your mind for them almost in a sense. Like for me, a lot of my triggers were just places. Because I know I get over here, I'm going to get caught up. I'm going to go over here, somebody going to be over there. I'm going to get caught up. Next thing you know, I'm in trouble. I'm fucking up, fucking my money up. Now I got to go harder to put money away for rent. It's just so much shit that we don't think about. That sometimes you got to remove yourself from your own situation and look at it. Look at what the fuck you doing. Like, yo, I was doing that. I was doing this. I got to slow down. Sometimes we be moving so fast that we fail to realize that we're not even thinking while we moving. So it hurts the mental. That's why I always preach, be mindful of the future while you here, while you in the present. While you in the present, you gotta be mindful because your moves are moving towards the future. If you're moving forward, there's a cure for mental health. I don't know. I understand what you're saying, but I don't think there's a real cure.
Cousin Floyd, peace. That's going back to what Coach just touched bases on responsibility on those triggers.
Yes, because you can have responsibilities, you can hit those triggers, you can be good. I've seen people good 20 years and have
Okay,
one day,
Coach.
one day shock them and rock them, and then now they spiraling. Because you never know what may happen in life. You don't like until it happens. You never know what may hit you. His brother just spoke about his sister.
Hey, Coach, like you to touch bases on because Cousin Floyd's in the chat. He said there is a cure for mental health. That's different. You and Jerrell both. Somebody could read.
Because it's an ongoing thing. Your mental health is something that no one is perfect mentally. So every day we strive to get better mentally. Wallowing with progress is even in progress, the mental suffers.
Working the situation to solve, changing behaviors and attitude, valuing yourself above all, living one day at a time. That's interesting.
Those are just steps. Those are the steps that you take every day. It's just like AAAA. It's like those dudes that carry that coin with them. They carry that shit everywhere because they don't forget, because they know that shit's an ongoing process. There's people that is 30 years clean will tell you that there's a trigger for them around the corner that they still stay away from. It's an ongoing process. The mental health is an ongoing process. No one has perfect mental.
Because he's saying there is a cure.
There's steps. There's steps that you take to help you. He explained his steps. Like when you asked him the question about his anxiety, those are the steps that he took. And he
Right.
took steps. Those weren't cures. Those are just steps. You know, those are just steps that you take to better your life and help you out. But there's always a trigger around the corner. There's always something to happen that'll crack your mental that you don't know. You know, you can lose a loved one tomorrow. Then, you know, what happens to your mental then? Because if you cure mental health, that means nothing rattles you.
This is the thing where I don't know if, well, from what my understanding of what mental health is, like I said, there is no mental health is what is just how you deal with certain things in life. So they can't, I don't know how there could be a cure
Everyday
for it. You know
life,
what I
seeing
mean?
different things in life affecting our mental and certain. Yeah, that does. Seeing things in life and going through different things. That there are a lot of people who choose not to change those types of mindsets. That's true. And then on both sides of the things, you have people that are good that don't have those sets of mindsets that don't believe they have mental issues and they do, just like you have people that have all those type of mindsets and we say, yo bro, you got mental problems, and they'll look you dead in the eye and say, nah, I'm fine. Maybe it's you, because it you know, mental is it's tricky because we're all designed different. We're all designed to handle things different too. Some experiences are the same, but how we react and handle them are different. And that's what shapes the mental.
That's your mental health. Like some
You know?
people get nervous for some stuff. They might eat a lot. They
Yeah,
might eat.
so
They might eat.
it's an
So that's
ongoing
just
thing.
how they deal with their mental. That's how they deal with that
Deal with it. And then that's,
situation.
they gotta go through that every day. It's a process. Once you find out that you have a mental illness or you're going through mental problems, you gotta be mindful of that shit every day. Because if you don't, that's what's gonna break you. That's what's going to break you every time. I don't care if it's financially, relationship, spirit. That's like it's like a, especially if you holding it in and you Lester, because sometimes mental issues don't have nothing to do with habits or anything. Sometimes it's unsaid words. Sometimes it's something that you need to get off your chest. That sometimes it's a whole list of things that people go through. You know, it ain't like it's family, it's financial, it's childhood issues, it's progress issues. Some people are stressed because they're not where they want to be in life. You know, and that's their only problem.
I'm a firm believer too, you know, except for this debate and discussion. I think us black men, our major issue is the finance. I think a lot of our mental health and things revolves around the finance. A lot of us are underpaid. Um, I don't believe not now one of us is overpaid, but I think finance plays a big part in that as well.
I think so too, but I think it has a lot to do with how we grew up. Think how we were raised, how we grew up, and then you become an adult and you kind of look at things from a mental standpoint, and you don't want to put blame on your parents. You just you just critique, you're just looking at it. You're not putting no blame or nothing, but
It's just,
you
right.
can kind of see where everything comes from sometimes. In your own problems, you can see the core, because sometimes when you get to the trigger, you got to find the core of the problem too. And a lot of our problems are deeply rooted in relations, whether if it's a parent or a sibling. It's not sometimes it's not always a parent, sometimes it's a sibling. You know, sometimes it's a spouse. People resort to what makes them comfortable. They react in anger, cope if they want to change that mindset. If they make peace in life.
I'm gonna tap them in, Coach. That's cool.
I don't care.
Let me tap you in, cuz. It seemed like cousin Eric want to get in there too. You gotta let me know, King, and I'll definitely tap you in. Welcome to Talk of the Town. The floor is open.
Gentlemen, 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 gentlemen. I hear everything that you guys are saying. But what I want Talk of Town to always be responsible for is having the responsibility of making people responsible for their actions, their ailments, because what it boils down to is that there is a cure for mental health. It's just like the same type of cure that you'll have for drug addiction or whatever. You have to change your mindset. I know drug addicts that were drug addicts back in the crack era forever, and they've been clean 30, 40 years. Why? They changed their mindset. When they come around certain people they know doing drugs, they go the other way. Why? The struggle is not that it's a mental health situation. The struggle is for them to understand that they need to value themselves. When it comes down to someone who likes to lash out and talk about their former lives. I'm a person who used to talk about his former lives. I used to didn't like for people to say certain words to me. That was part of the mental health, because I would lash out and I would want to hurt people. So what I do is I change my mindset. I change my way of life. I get away from those things that are ailing me and making me be a certain way. The brother said that he has anxieties. You understand? Find out what that trigger is, what those triggers is for that anxiety, and refrain from it. I give when you said about your sister, I sent all prayers out for your sister for God to bind that spirit of cancer and bring and dry it up and get it out of her. But when it comes down to certain things, you have to find the trigger of what triggers you for anxiety, what makes you get to a certain point, and refrain from that. Get away from it. And also, let's always think about the responsibility thereof for mental health. Why? Because some people put themselves in situations. Some people gravitate towards what ails them. Why? Because it's comfortable for them. It's the comfortable way of normal life that they like to have. We have to be responsible in all things, because the one thing God gave us is the spirit of discernment and the spirit of free will. We make choices. 90% of the things that happen to us by the happenstance of us putting ourselves in those predicaments. You got to come to the point of showing some type of responsibility when it comes to mental health, because now everyone makes something mental health. When a person molests a child, they say mental health. When a man beats a woman, he says mental health. When a guy rapes a woman, he says mental health. When a drug dealer sells to a pregnant woman, they say mental health. You're making mental health a scapegoat, and mental health cannot be a scapegoat if the person who's having the mental episode is not taking responsibility for their actions. You have to take responsibility for you putting yourself in predicament that make you mentally unstable. You have to say, okay, wait a minute. How do I extricate myself from this situation, this circumstance where I don't have to be this way? How do I value myself greater than whatever this issue is devaluing me? How do I put myself in a predicament where my future is optimistic? That's what you have to do. You have to do a renewing of the mind, and that renewing of the mind will be your cure for mental health, because now you will not deal with those things that ail you. So there has to be some responsibility in it. Not everything is circumstantial that happens in life that it affects you, because you can remove yourself from certain things that may affect you. Like, for instance, coming home from prison, society affected me. 32 applications when I came home, denied 32 times. Now, mentally, I could have crashed out and went back to my former life. Mentally. But the reality is I got rid of that mindset, and I went out there one last time and I found a job. And from that job, it taught me to a greater job. From a greater job, it taught me to get my own company. And now I facilitate to brothers who may have problems with getting jobs, so they won't have that mental stress of not being able to find employment. What it boils down to is that we have to look at each and every situation as its individual situation. So that way we can find out what our responsibilities are within those situations. There's a lot of people out here that will call everything mental health. Everything that is becoming so saturated that it's like, okay, well, nah, motherfucker, you just crazy. It's not even a mental situation. You just fucking crazy.
I
And
like
he
that.
could have a mental, he could really be having a mental break, but it's become so saturated that, you know, back in the day, we used to have a situation, man, in the state of Connecticut, right here, where young girls would be messing around with young guys or guys a little older, and everyone back in the day, this is before pretty much Coach, you and everybody else, young black athletes, they was calling rape on them. It got to the point where it became so saturated that even the courts was like, well, now wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Not all these black men are doing these to little white girls. It's not happening like that. And people had to start taking a look at it. That's what you have to do with mental health. You got to start taking a look at it. Because some things that you will be calling mental health is not mental health as is on the face of what it is. Sometimes you just have to look at a situation and figure the best course of action to remove yourself or make that situation work for you.
Right.
It's a responsibility thing.
So to interrupt, prior to us, I can always go back, and it's recorded. Coase was saying that. He was saying
Said that in the very first show. That's why I didn't want to do this. Because people use mental health as an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't trust it. I don't want to be a part of it.
right.
You know, I said that in the first show.
So
But-
Floyd.
Yes, sir.
So everything that you're saying, we agree with you. You know what I'm saying? And it's not up for debate, because for those that and following us now,
Now we don't debate. There's nothing to debate. This is not a debate show. So,
no, right. Some people would try to. However, going back to the very first, I think, mental health group, if not the second, and Coase elaborated that he didn't want to get into it.
but see, the thing about mental health, the reason why I say why we have no cures, because we all have our faults. We all have our breaks. No one is completely cured. So,
Back,
you're breaking up. What you say?
I said somebody to turn your phone either down or like change that echo in the background.
Oh, I don't know whose phone that is, but I know that, you know, we all have mental breaks. We all go through it.
Right.
No one can be completely cured. You know, even though we may feel we had a good run of no mental haps, it can creep in. It happens to the best of us.
Right.
It happens to the best of us. You know, we can do everything right. Like I said, it's like grief. It comes in the thief of the night. Mental health has a lot to do with thoughts, not even actions, not even people. Just you and your thoughts can get you there. You know, we had an episode even with Floyd. He spoke on a mental break that he had bump wilding out and stuff. And you know, and Floyd spoke about it candidly. He had a mental break. And it ain't have nothing to do with society. It ain't have nothing to do with, you know, because he you know, so we always got to be mindful of it's an ongoing thing. It's around the, what you was going to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to say something too. I know Floyd too. Actually, no, that's what I said when I was looking down there. I was like, oh, okay. But I just wanted to kind of elaborate to what he said too. I did kind of see a little bit of the show that y'all was talking about with this too, because I had tapped in and looked at it. But my thing to the whole thing is I believe that what you guys are doing and this is why I came around with this, is because I want to just be able to come and share how I feel with it and just get viewpoints from everybody else to what they feel from it. There is no right or wrong answer to this. It's just what you feel from it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So there is no right or wrong. What my mental health is what my mental health, and that's what I stand on. You know what I mean? So, and I know that. So, but I know that I'm always going to have to deal with that no matter what. You know what I mean? Whether it be, I know some people, like for instance, I could talk about this. For instance, like my mother from the town. My mother is OG from around the town, like a female from out there. My mom used to get high. Donna, people know my mother. You know what I mean? And my mother used to like did everything. And before she passed, she used to hang around people that used to get high and stuff like that. And she ain't touch a drug. You know what I mean? So it's some people that can do that. You know what I mean? Some people that can sit down and do that. You understand what I'm saying? But there's other people that can't do that. You know what I mean? And
That's
that's
good.
okay. That's okay,
And,
man. You know what I mean?
and that's what this show is kind of built on. The show is kind of built on for people Tuesday night at least to come up here and share their problems
You
and
were
and,
sharing.
and speak what you're going through because I want people to know that somebody's probably going through the same thing. Somebody's feeling like you. We're all in this together. We're all in the same boat. Don't feel like you're the odd man out because you're going through mental issues and you don't know how to get through it. You
Then
know,
let me tell
be
y'all
able
something real quick. Not just such because I just got a burning desire to say this too. This one thing that we all need to understand too. Some of us are rote. You understand what I'm saying? Some of us can read these books and things like that in these literatures, and that can fix them. Some of us aren't like that also too. You
yeah,
understand what I'm saying? That's okay. Some of us is on a different level than what that stuff is and stuff like that. And that's not going to cure me. You know what I mean? My shit is deeper than that. You understand what I'm saying? So it needs, and you know what my cure comes? My cure comes from building with people like me and you and us,
mhm,
and we coming through and we talking with it every day. Where something that might happen to you happened to me 10 years ago, and you can just vent and relate to me right now, and I can help you move past
yeah,
it. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah, because
Yeah,
So,
relatable.
we're not just going about stuff that we wrote and we do. I can do that too, go and this stuff and recite stuff like that. You got tons of
like
stuff in the
books
art
and
of
all
war.
that, but it ain't about that.
No, man, it ain't about. That's not the town. The town they ain't like
No,
that.
it
We
ain't
ain't
on
like
that.
that.
And
Mhm.
a lot of us is deeply rooted, because it's like
Talk about it.
I grew up in a town that was close. I'm born 1983, so I remember coming out knowing, like me and Bump always talk about this. I grew up knowing all my neighbors. My neighbors know my mama, my grandmother, my grandfather. Everywhere you go is like a one big community. And,
Facts.
somehow, some way that changed. And then values changed. Then when values change, how people think start changing. And that brought in a lot of the ilks of the community because the community start, you know, thinking stupid in a sense. And then nobody's there to check them. No elders is around to say, "Hey, what you doing, boy?" Because now they don't know the neighbor. Now Auntie can't say nothing to her niece no more, or the lady around the corner can't chastise the boy for doing dumb shit because she know the mother. She's got to let it happen. And then that kind of builds a burden on the parents because they see it and they got to eat it. And then what you say? Your mic, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You ever heard of pharaonic law?
Nah, what is that?
Look that up, pharaonic law. Now, it's kind of a little bit off of what we talk about,
Yeah,
but
I'm
it's
gonna look
on
it
what we're
up.
talking about. But look up pharaonic law. That's what that is. That's what they implemented on us. You know what I mean? It's a mental thing that they do where they destroy the home, and they do it they don't do it themselves. They do it from within, and they give you certain things to manipulate you to divide
Manipulate.
the home, to
Yes.
divide the home. You know what I mean? And then
Amen.
once you divide the home from that, then there's nothing from that once there's no home. You know what I mean?
They've been
Structures.
breaking the family structure down since the 50s, late 50s, early 60s. It was about breaking the family structure down because the black family was so potent, so strong, it was the first gang. Because, like my uncle said, in Stanford, it wasn't so much gangs, it was families, it was last names. Like I'm a
Yeah.
Ford. They had the Gardners, they had this big, the Goathies had a lot of people. So it was so many, family names.
Yeah,
That was the, you knew when you went to that side, that family was the big family over there. So they knew to broke that down, and then they implicated welfare and single parent, and all of those was tricks
Hmm.
and ploys to separate the man from the woman, to get the man as farthest away from the woman, so we can't build together like we did.
and then to empower the women to feel like they don't need us.
That that true for
But
some women.
that's true though. But we can't get into that discussion right now
Yeah,
because
we can't.
it's all
Yeah,
testosterone in the room, and we get in trouble for talking like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
What
yeah,
else?
yeah. That's But it just starts with the family, and then we need to go back to that. Go back to family values. I understand some of us had Uncle Jimmy in the family molesting everybody, and nobody said nothing. Well, these are the times when we speak on this shit, and people need to speak up and right their wrongs and speak their piece, because a
Yeah,
lot of that happens in the family where we hold secrets in, and mentally, we can't get past those things because
yeah,
secrets are nothing but thoughts. Memories ain't nothing but thoughts. And
yeah.
until you can get them off your chest, they're gonna linger with you. They control of you. You
And
know.
that's going to be a detrimental to yourself, because the longer you let it linger on, the more of a detriment you're causing to yourself. So it's better to just release that than hold it in.
Yep.
Definitely. We also have
Hey,
Eric.
God, what the fuck? What's
I
good?
added to the chat.
What's
Um,
going on? What's going on,
Hey,
yeah?
guys, good to hear
What's
from you.
going on? Love, cuz. Much love. Yeah.
but
What's going on, yeah? What's going on, Bump? What's going on,
before
everybody? Floyd,
Peace,
Jerrell,
peace,
Russ.
peace, peace.
What's going on?
we go on, I just want to thank everybody
Here he go with
that
the train.
all the females, all the queens, all the kings,
Love the train.
talk to us, we'll talk back. I thank everybody for the super chat. Thank everybody for tapping in. I know, Eric, you wanted us to tap you in. You had a few things that you wanted to kind of touch bases on. So, being
Yeah.
that you're not the last, but from Floyd dropping out, you're popping in. Is there anything that you wanted to say to the group, to the people?
Yeah, no, definitely, because I wanted to, kind of touch back on that topic of mental health. Definitely, I think, us just, going through everyday life, just, I think all of our minds aren't perfect. We all have some type of screws that's loose. And it could be from like the simplest things, of seeing somebody get into a fight or something said to you. It's just any little thing could just affect your mental health. And I think it's just mental health is so complex, because it's like it could be something that didn't affect you previously, but it affects you, maybe years from now, and it's like, damn, that never, affected me before. Where did this come from, So I think it's so, that's why I love, what y'all got going on, because, this is all a part of, just tackling and just this whole, the battle of mental health, you know what I'm saying? Because it's so complex, and, it's just a struggle for us black men to even, open up about it. I could say, for me myself, I go see a therapist and I go see a psychiatrist, both of them. you know, because before I was, you know, self-medicate, you know, my mother, you know, coach, my mom passed away, and I'm still dealing with that to this day. It's something I'll never get over. But, you know, instead of me self-medicating, I said, okay, let me try to do something to kind of step up out of, you know, kind of put my foot out there to, you know, put that best foot
Yes,
forward towards
yeah.
working to it, you know. And I think we, you know, we got to take them strides. You know, we got to step out of there instead of just, you know, suppressing it. And I think that's why so much of us is so angry from going, you know, from suppressing and just, you know, and I feel like I think a lot of people have to also look at it as like when you are going through any situations mentally, that doesn't mean that you're not normal. You're still normal. You know what I'm saying? We have to stop looking at it as we're abnormal. No, you're still normal. You just got some screw, you know, you just got to tighten them screws up, you know?
Gotta
So,
tighten up. I like what you said. I want to
yeah,
elaborate on that. I like what
definitely.
you said about the not normal because, you know, as an adult, like I told Bump, I didn't really want to do the show. I remember the first thing I told Bump is my mental straight. That's probably one of the strongest things the only thing that I feel that I possess is my mental, one of the strongest things. But I
Yeah,
can't lie to the people and say I never been through depression or mental issues because I was depressed for years, mental issues for years. And I remember the first thing I would think was I'm this ain't normal. Like I'm not normal. Like something is really wrong, you know? So I
yeah,
didn't really know because I was young then. I was, you know, on medication due to, you know, ADD, hyperactive. So, you know, I'm being called to the nurse every day, medication. They saying my name over the loudspeaker. I'm getting embarrassed. So, and nobody around the school is going through what I'm going through. So I automatically feel like, yo, son, you know, I'm different. But as
yeah,
I got older, I realized, you know, more and more, I just needed to tighten up how I think, how I move, find my triggers, remove a lot of people from my life, whether if it's family or friends,
Right, right.
and then realize, you know, this is who I am as a person. You
yeah.
know,
And that's what makes you unique.
I can't run from none of that and say, nah, that ain't normal, that ain't who I was. Like I always tell Bump, I'm layered like an onion.
Yeah,
So every step of my life, that's just part of my onion. I just got to beware. There's a layer in my onion that's dangerous, that is well triggered, that is
yeah,
ignorant, that is cold hearted. You know. So it and then it's all comes from my mental because it comes from my thoughts. How much I because I'm a pure thinker. I'm always thinking. I'm always festering. You know, I'm always sitting in my thoughts because I have a lot of idle time. Like when the show first started, I told Bump I had a chance to get away from that devil's time. I had a lot of idle time on my hands to where anything can happen with idle time. And with me, you know, I had anger issues. You know, I had heart issues, meaning like not physical, but empathy. I can be real cold because my mental was off, you know, and when my mental is off, my thoughts get off, they get dark. So it's like I can go to a dark place quick. So I had to identify that young and realize this is who I am. So I'm not abnormal. I'm not nothing ain't wrong with me. You know,
yeah.
sometimes I just, as a human, I need to tighten up. I need to find out what's the core source of these problems and deal with them head on. You know, if I got anything that I need festered in, speak of it now. Like I always tell people on the show, I'm in full forgiveness mode, meaning
Yeah,
like I don't have no issues with no one. I forgave everyone that ever hurt me in life because
yeah,
I know that's how I have to get better for my mental.
yeah,
So everybody has been forgiven. I know that in order for me to move forward, I have to forgive because my mental will keep me in a space where once the thoughts start turning, I'm no good. I'm useless to people.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't want to be a burden. Not it ain't even a burden. I'm like what you said, Bump. I'm like one of those brain dead niggas. Or just the Walking Dead, like they call it, the NPC. And
Yeah.
I just want everybody to know that this place, Talk of the Town, is a place where you can come up here, speak your problems without judgment,
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
malice.
Yeah.
Because we all go through things, and again, with Coast and I being the face, the two-headed monster driving the ship, we ask all of you, to come aboard. I don't mind being transparent. Um,
Yeah.
I think my transparency can move certain people in many different directions, but the direction I want to move everybody is in the right direction, the positive direction, in unifying, building a community, building unity, brotherhood, sisterhood. And then when we can join that, the power and the beauty is all within that. And what I share, man, if I don't, I would hate to be talked about like, oh, Bump, he took the easy way out, or this or that, or what I'm saying? What could be versus to what I'm not gonna let it be. So um as I continue to be transparent, man, and lead the way in dealing with my mental health the way that I feel is fit. It may not be according to everybody else, whether it's family situations, whether it's with my kids, my mom, my pops, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Talking about it, using what we have brought to the forefront is good for me. It's therapeutic for me. It's my outlet, our outlet. So I'm not ashamed to cry or to show vulnerability in time. But I also too can show a strength on how to overcome that as well. So it's not just a one-way street like, yo, because again, we're all dealing with things. And after I became transparent about certain things, people was coming out of the closet like, yo, I'm going through the same stuff, and yo, I'm proud, and yo, that was big. That was a big step, big move. I'm just going to tackle my stuff head on, man, and I identify with my triggers or whatever it is that moves my three-dimensional
Bump
avatar.
can't see you, so
Oh, okay.
yeah. Now
Okay,
he wanted to ask something, but Bump can't see you.
Oh, we
go.
get, and see, that's the thing about it, dude. But what's just so crazy about it, where people don't have no type of conversations like this, where, like you said, like I can go, you go flick through, you people talking about football, talking about basketball, talking
Yeah.
about this, talking
Mhm.
about that, talking about people not talking about, yo, damn, I had a fucked up day today, man. Yo, you know what I mean? Yo,
Yeah.
today was fucked up, and you know what I mean? I felt like just going home and just saying, man, what the fuck, bro, and just whatever, man. You need a type of spot where you can go ahead and you can have this outside of everything else. Even though the brother said there, he still goes to his counseling, his therapy, and so on. But still, they still ask you what's your support system. This is
Yes.
a form of support
Yeah.
system to where you go and you
Yeah.
get something positive to where you can go and take, like they say, we all heard, you take what you leave the rest out of some other things that people do, you know what I mean? But
Hmm.
like, the same type of concept, you know what I mean? So you need stuff like this. And then all in all, it's guys like us. We all know each other. You know what I mean? Whether one way or another, there's no way that us four right here probably either related bloodline or marriage or something, like, you know what I mean? So, it's just good to know that, and you just stay rooted like that. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it's good. You feel more comfortable. You feel more comfortable doing it with people that look like you, where you from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, relatability means a lot. You know, when you see somebody, you hear somebody going through the same thing, it kind of you know, warms you up. Like, damn, you going through this, I'm going through this, and we can kind of connect. You know.
Connect on another level because
Yeah.
Yeah.
it goes back to what I was saying when I was young, going through those problems. I didn't have no one around that was taking medication and going to child's guidance and therapy, shit like that at a young age, you know. So when I got older and I started realizing there's people like me, it made me feel good. So even when I was doing the show and I told Bump I didn't really want to do it, a lot of reasons why I came on because I was like, you know, I've always seen myself as a real transparent person, so I don't have no problem talking about my life. Then a light bulb, boop. I noticed that I can through my experiences, I can do my due diligence by helping others through my experiences because it's like me telling my story of what I went through in my mental agony. Some people may see it and be like, oh, he went through that too. He seems so calm. He seems so this. No, I went through some shit just like you. So you don't feel no type of way about it, but also understand that it's okay to share. It's okay to express because sometimes people need to hear it. And I never thought through my story I can help others because I wasn't one of those people that you know how that people be like, "Oh, tell your testimony. It'll help. It'll help people." And it's like, how? I used to always think like, how? How am I gonna help? But the more and more I talk, the more and more I hear people come to me and be like, "Yo, I was going through that same thing, bro," or something you said got me through my day. So me knowing that made me want to just say, "Yeah, I gotta keep doing this shit with them." Whether if I feel like I got mental problems or not, I know that mental illness is an everyday thing. So it's kind of like I just want to do my due diligence and just say, you know, I'm here if anybody need an ear without judgment because I've learned to become that. I've learned to become an ear without judgment because due to the fact that I felt the way I felt where, you know, I didn't really have mental issues because I looked at people with mental issues in bad shape. I judged them like they were in bad shape, and
So,
Stigma.
that was false of me. I should never did that.
Coach,
Yes, bump.
I want to say this to the listener, to Jerrell, to Eric. Um, y'all really love Coach, man. Since we've been on this wave, um, we've gotten very close, man. We've, you know, had intimate relationships as far as mentally, you know, getting to know one another, understanding each other triggers, and it built a brotherhood that is like no other. And this type of bond and brotherhood that we built within the last 6 months, it was already in the makings because talking to town, we've been at this, what, 12, 11 years. Close Stacks probably started it a half of that prior to me coming in and expounding on it. Outside of like my biological brothers, man, like, you know, especially within the last week, man, like we really formed a bond in that brotherhood, man, that's unshakable, unthinkable. And, you know, a lot of that built not only through talking to town, through mental health,
Mm-hmm.
but it opened up other portals. And I want you people to understand that, yo, we're here. And if we're gonna outside of our biological, because a lot of us aren't close with family. They say family is this and family is that. Nah, family is what you make outside of that. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? That help us propel and be like, okay, you know, there is somebody who genuinely loves me and not gonna critique or use we're family and I love you as a tool to whip me, like, you know what I'm saying? So I want you guys to know, man, like with us connecting and doing this right here, we're building a bond, we're building a brotherhood. And for the
Yeah.
female here, same thing with you too. It's a sister and brother relation. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I just wanted to make that well known. Like, yo, Eric, if you feel, you could reach out. My chat is open, mine is open. If there's something that you wanted to ask me, or if there was
Yeah.
something I said over the last week or so, me and Jerrell have been kind of kicking it. You know what I'm saying? I see he's a little off, maybe through a post. See, when you're connected, we know when one is off. So it's nothing to be like, yo, bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm good. I'll holler at you tomorrow. His holler at me tomorrow was him hopping on the show and speaking about things that has transpired over the last 48, 72 hours or whatever. Again, this is a safe zone where we feel safe, where we can come and open up and discuss certain things and continue to build with one another and on oneself. Because if we're not focusing and building on oneself, then we're no good for anybody else. And
Yeah.
yeah, so
I
I just
wanted to.
wanted to say,
You got something to add before we Grammy speech and wrap it up? You can
go
add.
ahead.
You can add
Uh,
something. Yeah, you can go
yeah.
ahead. Go right ahead.
Hey,
Before
Coach, I wanted to say too. It's funny that you say that. Uh, and I tell people all the time too. If you ever dealt with Child Guidance Center, because I dealt with them too,
Mhm.
get your files to
I
keep for
did too.
yourself for personal.
Thank you. I can still go back, like, and go get them. I
Yeah,
need.
yeah, no, because the only thing about it's funny that you say that because, like I said, like that's why I say when some people talk about with certain things, they don't know, they don't know like what people actually have been through and what they do to
Thank
actually
you,
deal
bro.
with their stuff. You
You
know what I
know.
mean? So I've actually went to because I got incarcerated when I was 18 years old, from 18 to 33. So it's a lot of stuff I didn't know when I got out to figure out. So I went looking for certain things. I ended up, I remember I used to go to some place, but I don't remember the name of it until it clicked to me. My grandma said it was Child Guidance Center up there on the hill. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
I used to run right up the hill over here. I'm by Adams Ave. I used to
Yeah.
run. I used to wreak havoc in that place.
Yeah, so my thing, I say that to say this. I went there to go get stuff so I can find answers. And I know I went to that place for over.
And
I used to
they.
go. I used to go from Clune. I used to walk there, right up the side over there, dealing with Yoo-Hoo and all that. Go see all them back because
Yeah.
they was all over there. So I know that whole like it's crazy. But I say that to say that just memory just shot back in my head. But yo, they had no record of me. That I never was there.
Yeah, because I was there, yo, and they used to try to like see they're part of the reason why I was on medication.
And I know that's why I said to you, and I wanted answers to a lot of
Now
things.
remember, my grandfather used to be like, don't go in there and be stupid.
It was big for
You better be the smartest thing you can. And I used to go in there and try to like be smart and shit. And they would just it was just weird, yo. That place was a weird place. Especially for a black boy. It was just weird.
That's why when you
no.
talk about even with books, that's why I said we got to build on some stuff. I know I'm just trying
Yeah,
to come
because
up.
I read a lot of books because I don't know. I was just looking for answers. So I started reading at a young age because maybe the answers are in these shits.
That's the first place where I got introduced to really, really reading. They used to when I used to go for part of my like she used to give me a book and I used to read, and that's where when you
Yeah,
said books.
they got me into a lot of shit. Don't get me wrong. I got into a lot of shit from that, but they were part of the reason why I was on medication so young. People gotta realize I was on medication in the third, fourth grade, going all the way almost into ninth grade. I remember when ninth grade hit, I'm in high school, telling my grandfather it's over. You gonna have to fight me in this to take this. I'm grown now, like telling him it's over. It's high school times. I'm just be me. If I'm all over the class, that's just what I'm gotta be. because being medicated ain't good, especially young. You know, I was fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, doped out, slumped over. You know, so and then it made my body a tolerance. So I had to. When I got in my 20s, I know that I have an addictive brain now, addictive mindset. It's already hereditary, so I have to be mindful of that.
Right.
You
You
know.
know why I say that to say this, and then I'm pass the mic and I'm gonna be quiet. I believe that, and like I said, we're gonna talk about this. It's a social experiment. All of that was, man. And it's deep. It's deeper than what a lot of people even looking into that don't even know because they never dug into it to look and stuff like that. But like I said, that's where a lot of my stuff. I had that problem with dealing with mental health. You know what I mean? Going to places I didn't know what to school, and my grandparents brought me there too. You understand what I'm saying?
You know, it's my
So
grandparents that brought that. You know, oh, he's hyper, he's out of control. You know, that type of shit. You know, can't sit down. And then it's funny because I was a rebellious kid because my parents weren't there. I learned that older, but my grandparents didn't know that. They don't know what rebellious is. My grandfather was 50 something when I'm in the, you know, he done raised 10 kids already. You know, so he don't, and then I'm with his mother. So she's beyond 50. She's like 70 at the time. So it's like they're from a whole nother generation.
generation.
They don't know nothing about being rebellious and being all over the place because your dad and your mom, you know. So that comes with the child's guidance and medication and shit like that. You know, that was their way of trying to fix a
Yeah,
problem that
yeah.
really wasn't there. I don't blame them, but that was his way of trying to help. He didn't know. He was trying to be, you know, some people go back and fault them. You did this. Nah, I
No,
can't.
I don't fault, and I don't even fault them for that because you
I
know they
just
gave me.
want
They
to,
gave me.
you know, it's
Yeah.
just pieces of the puzzle, like you said, pieces of the puzzle that helps me see everything clear. You know, that's
Yes.
all. Just
Yes.
see my life a little bit clearer in a whole, you know, because like I said, I done forgave everybody already. So I'm on a different mind,
Plain.
you know, even for the family members that probably think, well, they know they wronged me, but it's like they don't even know I forgave them. You weren't in my life, meaning like, hey, I can't be mad. You are like my mom's brothers and shit like that, or my mom's sisters, but I can't be mad at y'all. Y'all can just, that's something y'all have to live with
Yeah.
and come clean to me about. But until then, I have accepted it. I forgave y'all. I don't. It doesn't fester in my mind because I had to forgive y'all because I would be cold. And then I'd be walking around mentally off.
Angry.
Meaning like
Bitter.
anybody, they're
Bitter.
my triggers.
You be bitter. You be
They're
everything.
my triggers. Now I'm at family functions, icing, and fuck them. I ain't
That's
doing it.
yo, coach. But check, yo, that's what people deal with. Sometimes I deal with that. I don't want to go
We all
around.
deal with it, but now I'm in a forgiving mood. So when I do come around, I see the look on their face because it's like they can't believe it. They want they're looking for that part of me that don't really exist no more.
Yeah,
And
and then
that's
you
what they
remove
want.
that burden.
Yeah,
You
that
remove
burden
it.
that owe me. They want
Yeah,
that. A lot of
yeah.
them want that. That's why people, places, and things. A lot of people want you fucked up. I heard Mike Epps said it. His OG ain't like him unless he was doped up and shit. I
So
love you,
Eric,
nigga. I'ma pay for you, nigga.
you can identify with that. So are you Cole's cousin? Like, what is your relation, and how do you identify with that as he say this in his
Oh yeah, I mean, Kurt, we first cousins, you know what I'm saying?
First cousins.
Yeah, like that's my big bro. I always say, Coast is the big brother, I never had, so it's like, just being around him was, that, meant a lot, for me, because, we both don't got brothers, we both got one sister, so it's like, that's my closest cousin right there. So, just hearing that is like, insightful for me,
Bump, this is my
when
first friend.
yeah, straight up, straight up,
This is my
straight
first
up,
friend.
man.
This is my first fight. This is my
That's
first.
my brother
My
right there.
first
That's
cousin.
my
We
brother
5 years.
right there.
We 4 years apart, 5 years apart. But that's these times that I'm talking about. He's in the house. He's there. He's
Yeah,
around.
50 Best Avenue, we was there. Like that's the house we grew up in,
Let him
That's our
talk, Coach.
blueprint.
Go ahead, yeah, spit your thoughts. So as you see him growth in elevation, like speak on it, because you've seen from a 4 year gap, so that's still a long time as well. So
Yeah.
what you see, how has that helped you develop certain traits and certain uh tendencies and certain strengths, should I say?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm learning. Like I'm kind of, I'm like his apprentice, I'm seeing him evolve and everything. So I'm like jotting down notes, okay, how can I, take from this, from seeing my big bro, somebody who I grew up with, somebody who I hold close to me, and seeing him evolve and what I'm saying, becoming better and just elevating. And I'm just, taking notes like, damn, what I'm saying, I could learn something from you. You know what I mean? So, I feel like the apprentice, Definitely, and it's, just somebody who you love so dearly, what I'm saying, and seeing him, like I said, just, elevating everything, it does a lot for me, what I'm saying. I'm seeing him, what it's doing for him and, how it's bringing him joy, what I'm saying, and that warms my heart as well, you know what I mean?
Thanks, cuz. Thanks, man.
Yeah, much love, cuz, much love, what I'm
Now,
saying, that's why, huh?
Close, get him. Hey, I didn't say that for this nigga to get emotional and all this other freaked
nobody
out
getting
shit.
emotional, nigga. I'm just gonna, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, it's crazy because, you know, when we have family, it's weird because you can be raised in the same household. Like they say, you can be raised in the same household and have a same parent and have two different experiences.
Mm.
So, I've always
I'm listening. Go
tried to lead, not by example, because I wasn't a good example. So I've always led in other areas. I kept it real with cuz. I was gonna let
Yeah,
them know this is what's going on.
yeah,
If I'm fucked up, cuz I'm fucked up. If I'm going through
yeah,
this, I'm going through this. I didn't
right,
try to sugarcoat nothing like a older sibling kind of like, sometimes the sheltering happens,
yeah,
older sibling becomes a parent.
right,
So
right.
yeah. And I think that, I think what you call it when you express like vulnerability and just authenticity that stands out more so to me because you got certain family members, they'll try to pull the wool over your eyes, make it seem like they picture perfect and everything, but then you find out later on it's not, that wasn't what it was. So it's just all Coach is always authentic no matter what, what I'm saying.
'cause
So
That's
yeah,
that because Eric, that's why I just wanted to kind of ask you, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you always seem like there's black sheeps, or I just want to say the chosen one.
yeah,
And I just
I am the chosen one. Sorry, cuz,
yeah.
but I am the chosen one.
Now facts.
know, as opposed to why we connect. So I want to give people a little bit of history as well. Coase and I, Eric, we are connected in a sense. We do share a first cousin.
We do family.
The father's side, me on the mom's side.
No, my uncle had a baby with his aunt. He wanted to get all political and shit. My uncle had a baby with his aunt. My cousin Larry. So
Okay.
we share a cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
my family and his family, they know each other. So, like you
Gotcha.
yeah,
said, there's no way in hell. And then I bet you if you start naming some of your family and how deep your family is, we know it's one big circle because we from the town.
Yeah.
That's the beauty
Yeah.
of the town. You know,
Yeah.
it's one big beautiful circle. We all
Yeah.
see each other struggle. So
Fact.
the nigga is on the rise. Why not help him? Why not uplift him? We got to start championing our own, making our
Yeah.
own celebrities, making our own stars, because we always looking outside the community for everything when it's right here.
Yeah.
When it's right here. Just like we talked
Right.
about before, we have the spending power of damn near the 16th, 15th country as blacks.
Right.
So in order to kick into those dollars, we got to starting here. Start in your community. You know, start pooling your money. I remember when I worked with Jamaicans, they got something called partner, where it's kind of like, you know, I guess it's like a pool. Like one person, everybody will put their check up for the week, and then 1 month, every one person will receive all the money, and they just keep doing it each month. So I guess it's like me bumping all us four put up $400 every week. Then at the end of the month, I'll get it. And then each of us put $400 again, and at the end of the month, Bump will get it.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
hypothetically, anything that we want to, this is just hypothetically speaking to sharpen the mind. You know what I'm saying? Discussing ideas. Great minds discuss ideas.
Facts.
Okay.
Facts.
What I want to say, because I know when we having a great time, the time do passes by. 7 to 9. Sometime we may go over. Again, now that the brother Jerrell has made himself present, who tapped out? Jerrell or Erik?
No, I'm still in.
Okay. What's on your agenda moving forward? But we do want to create another sector of something, where
Yeah.
whether if it's sports, whether if it's academics, whether if it's financial literacy, where we just stick to a topic and help one another, educating on a financial level, to where, because a lot of us are dumb. We not saying that in a negative sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I get what you mean. I get what you
Yeah.
mean.
Bro has something that he wants to get on. It's called It All Makes Sense. I guess on another time or a private chat or whatever, maybe we could try to put something together, under the Talk of the Town banner.
Yeah.
It All Makes Sense. I don't know if he has a host or if he's looking for a host, but we're looking to expand as well. That way, we could build it to where we can. Oh, why are you doing this? Who? So it's me, Erik, and
Yeah.
You got to tap in Coast. You got to tap Coast in. I think his phone went out.
see, he just okay. See, fucked my he just fucked the volume up.
Yeah. No, I love
Told
what
that nigga don't call me when we recording. Damn, you don't listen. That's what's wrong with you, little young ass. He said his phone. Nigga, if your phone died, how you calling me?
Because it won't work. It's not charged up enough to come through.
Oh,
You
let me
don't know
grab the
about that.
headset.
Yeah, I appreciate you though, man, coming up here sharing, brother. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. You know what I mean? And more people to tap in.
I don't
You know
even
what I
know where
mean?
the headset's,
Yeah,
man.
no,
Damn,
definitely
he
much
tapped me
love,
out,
yo.
man.
Much love, yo. No, we gotta have stuff like this more often, yo. We gotta do
Yeah.
this more often. Definitely. I love this, you know what I'm saying? And I think that, you know what I'm saying, it is a step towards, just improvement, just, camaraderie, man. You know what I mean?
Just like you was
Yo,
just saying.
y'all continue to run the show. I'm gonna grab my headsets. Continue to run it.
All right.
All right.
Like I was saying, like I live in Hartford now, so but I'm
Okay.
originally from Stanford. But I got six nephews now, and a lot of them they just moved back down to Stanford because of what my situation that's going through with like sisters and family. So I
Got
gotta be back down there. You know what I'm saying? Like
got
I'm back around now. You understand what I'm saying? Because of the situation. You know what I mean? So
got you.
that's what I mean, to get back grassrooted with people and to know what's going on. I gotta start getting back into with the groove anyway. Like I said, you know what I mean. And it's just good to see, people like I said going through what the situation they're going through. Like what you said, you know what I mean. I like when I was
Yeah.
coming up, people, like your cousin was saying. Trust me, there was other people in there taking that medication. He just didn't know. We was young, you know
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
We don't know, you know what I mean. And like I said,
Right.
that's when I got older, like his Sean Evans that he was talking about, them dudes was came right underneath them. And I used to
Yeah.
be going to ISS class and getting in trouble and stuff. But when I got older, I started noticing, see, wait, ISS, that was people that was dealing with mental health issues back then and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You understand what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
might not
Yeah.
know it now, but I know, you understand what I'm saying, what it was and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
just good to just talk about that, to just build about it. You know what I mean? Because we all went through the same, it's all the same stuff that's going on. It's just different names of it, different this, and that. And we just
Right.
coming together like a camaraderie, like you said, brotherhood, just sharing, you know what I mean? Trying to
Yeah.
teach each other with stuff, man. That's all. That's
Yeah.
all I think it's about. No judge zone, no trying to, you wrong, you need to do. Nobody say what you need to do. We all up here just trying to share our experiences, I believe, to what we going through and what we've been through. That's it. You know what I mean? And each one bounce off of that.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. My phone
No,
had
fact,
died.
fact,
I had to run it by
fact.
the charger.
Yeah, and then like I say, it just me. It creates that safe space for us, because a lot of times I think as like us as black men, we're taught to just be strong and just hold on to and just carry that. Yo, you got it. Nah, that's the worst advice you could say to a, what I'm saying, to a man. Nah, we men, we got feelings, man. You know what I'm saying? We got
Yeah.
soft spots as well.
Yeah.
So we release that to the atmosphere when we vent to each other, it creates that form of comfort. It's like, yo, we, what I'm saying? And this is something that isn't talked about enough, because we always talk about the things that are not of substance. So when we, meeting with things of substance, it just brings a whole new, conglomerate, it just brings a whole new space for us, that's needed, So we
Yeah.
gotta expand that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm from Stanford myself. I left Stanford in '03 because I moved down. Me, my mother, and my sister moved down to Atlanta, and I'm here right now. But I always try to peek my head out and see what's going on in the community because I'm passionate about Stanford, man. I love the community. I feel like us coming up in our era and everything. No matter what area you came from, and what age you are, it was still that community. You know what I'm saying? That family, man. So I love this, man. You know what I mean? And definitely much respect and love to you, bro. For, what you going through. I was listening to what you going through. I'm praying for your sister, you and your family and everything, bro. Keep your head screwed on tight. You know what I mean? And put God first, bro.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that for
Yeah,
sure.
now
Yeah.
much love, yo. Much love. We
Cuz, I
need
ain't
it.
seen Cuz in a minute, yo.
Yeah, yo, it's been a
Yeah.
good while, yo.
'Cause all we do is talk on the phone. All we do is talk on the phone. So
Yeah,
I haven't seen you since the last time you was up here and shit. So
fact.
this is a good moment right here for me.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Look
why,
forward
what
to
I'm
it,
saying?
yo. You know.
Facts, yo. I love this, yo. It's good to see you too, cuz, what I'm saying? I love what you do, you know what I'm saying? Anytime we click, what I'm saying, we link, man. It's, what I'm saying? It's always love, man. You know what I mean? That shit don't never die, man. You always big bro, man. Straight up.
For real facts. And
Straight up, man. I
we've
gotta
came
come
a
up
long
there.
way. All of us, we've came a long way because we know
Yeah,
where we came from. See
yeah,
that's how you know you came a long way. Because sometimes people forget where they come from.
right,
And now they want to act brand new, like they fresh
right,
out. Like
right.
no,
Yeah.
Stay grounded, get with the right people, you
Yeah.
know,
Straight
and
up.
show love. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid to show love to one another
Yeah.
and express
Yeah.
it and show up and show out.
Yeah.
And also, what me and Bump promote, when you're in a place to gather information, don't just be happy to be there. You know,
Yeah.
bring the information back to the neighborhood. You
Yeah.
know,
Facts.
be of use, especially if you
Yeah.
have the privilege to be in a place where you can receive information that ain't privy to the people of the community. There's
Yeah.
no sense of gatekeeping it, you know. We need more information. You know, people was like,
Yeah.
oh, you can do it. Some of us don't know how to research. Some of
Yeah.
us don't know what researching is. They think it's is the first Google title, you know.
Yeah.
So we gotta learn how to be taught how to research things and dig and point a reference and find out what you're talking about
Yeah.
to learn more, you know,
Yeah.
because when you learn more, you can do better, and when you do better, your mental get better, you
Yeah.
know, because it's all about sharpening the mind. Sharpen the mind best way you can, you know. Even
Mm-hmm.
if you having your breaks, like Bump said, he go on his path, get back to normal things. Like me, I like to write, like cuz you got your little boxing going, you do the martial
Yeah.
art thing,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
you know
Mm-hmm.
whatever you got going or your interest, dive in it and know that you're not alone. Know that Talk of the Town is here every Tuesday, you know, and we always rock out. We always go over the time. We always show love. And we're trying to build a platform in the community with people who got mental issues or going through things. It's not just mental issues. You
Yeah.
know, you could just be having a bad week and you
Yeah.
feel like you're spiraling and you need
Yeah.
somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
It, we're here. This is what this place is for.
Coast.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Coast. Um, I wanted to also too. I wanted to give Jerrell the floor so he can explain to people what he have going on. Um,
Yeah, if you
explain
got
to the
anything
people a little
going
bit
on
about.
before we Grammy speech Bump.
I can't really hear you, so listen. It all makes sense. I want to help you strengthen that and get it to where you want to get it. So anytime you need me, Coast, I'll let you talk to Eric on your time. As far as like bringing it all makes sense to life a little bit more. I'm here in support. If you want to explain to the people the concept, the vision, and what it is as far as topic of discussion, um, take the floor, give the people a little bit, and let them know what to be looking out for within the week to come, because we're going to push that.
Well, my thing, I appreciate you doing this, Kosa. I appreciate that too.
Hmm.
But that's not what I wasn't really. See, this is why I say when you're doing something that got me, feeling the type of way. But I wasn't really up to do that for this. That's not what I'm here for. I'm really here for Jerrell. You know what I mean? So, but I do got a little thing that I do, and me and a close friend of mine, same kind of thing like you and Coast, that we just got together, we just vibe, played a video game and stuff like that, and we just start talking about stuff, dealing with what y'all talking about, just on our level. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
we came with a little thing that we just said it just makes sense. If it don't make sense, then we don't talk about it. You know what I mean? So that's all it is, and it's just a little thing that we talk about, and it's what it is. And we'll talk about that a little later. And continue on and build with that. But right now, I think that the main thing, I just think what I want to do is right now, what we doing is how we just sharing with each other, doing it with I don't care about about what I'm under, what I was doing before. Right now, I'm here for what we doing. You know what I mean? And this is what I appreciate. You know, the time out.
Thank
I
you.
don't have to worry about. I'm not worrying about it makes sense right now. I'm not worrying about all the other stuff. I'm worrying about, you know, what we talking about right now. Talk about the town. You know what I mean? Talk of the town. You know what I mean? That dealing with the mental health or just stuff that's going on in your life. You know what I mean? So, like I said, this is a time that I respect that I'm able to do and have right now, and I respect that. You know what I mean? So this is what I think that we should just build on, really, right now. We're talking about what we're doing right now, what it is. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that. You know, like I said, I definitely appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk about that. But I ain't here for that right now, Bump. I'm here for, you know, for the people, for what, you understand what I'm saying, to what we doing, man. You know what I mean? And I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
And
But
you got
just to let
anything,
you
Bump?
know,
You got
go ahead,
anything to say,
Coach.
Bump? Nah. I ain't got nothing to say. It's all on you. Cause you know I'm.
All right. Just to let you all know we here. We want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Yeah.
Talk of the Town is where it's at. Y'all talk to us, we'll talk back. Again, this is the Brotherhood, a conglomerate. We want to build unity within the community, so therefore we can unify and take this to a whole nother level. At any point in time, if anybody feel like they want to discuss anything, whether if it's life-threatening, whether if it's, you know, just life, whatever the cause is, man, we here. This is the platform. You know what I'm saying? For
Nah,
those.
I'm here 24/7. Cause like I want to make that clear. I probably never said that on the show. If y'all going through something, y'all like like that Facebook is more than welcome to shoot me a holler off
Yeah.
camera if you really need to talk about something. Cause
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm the ear to listen to. Cause I don't really, if I'm going to promote this mental health thing, I might as well be all in it. So if you don't feel comfortable talking on the show yet, and you do feel like you want a one-on-one, like you just want to express anything, or you want some advice, because that's a lot of times we're up here trying to spread advice through wisdom. You know, we're
Yeah.
not professionals. Let's just get that out there. We're not professionals on the mental health thing, but there's a lot of years up here. There's a lot of wisdom up here. It's a lot of collective of problems, and we done been through some shit up here. So, through our experiences, we hope we can help you better yours.
Yeah.
So
No,
if y'all need to holler, you need to check in, feel free. I'm always welcome. I'm always the ear to listen. I'm not gonna judge. No judgment over here. And Bumps the same way, man.
yeah.
Tuesday nights, 7 to 9. Hope everybody tune in. And Sunday night, Sunday afternoon is a laid back show. More, it's a reflection of Tuesday, because when you have a mental health breakdown or any type of mental health, nothing is better than a day to yourself where you can just unwind and do the things that you like to do, whatever it is you like to do
Uh,
in life. So we chose Sunday to be similar to that. Cause sometimes Tuesday nights be heavy, and they weigh heavy on me and Bump, to where the conversations for us may lead into a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday, to where we want a day to ourselves, to where we can kick it and shoot the breeze, and we can joke about each other weight and show clothes and sneakers and do some manly shit, cause we men, so
yeah.
tune in on Sunday nights. Sunday afternoons. I keep saying Sunday nights, but Sunday nights. Sunday afternoon every two to whenever. We don't really have an ending show for that tonight. We're well over the time. you know. But hey, it's a beautiful thing. I got a chance to meet Brother Jerrell here, and I can tell he's listening to the show and he's a supporter. He ain't no faker because he mentioned stuff that I said in previous shows that was dope. That was dope. That was dope, yo. That was dope. That's all I gotta say about that, bump. It's the talk of the town. I had slipped up on the Ramadan thing with my boy, so I haven't been doing it today. I actually did it. I am starving. So I haven't really ate nothing yet. I came up here just to, chill. So I kind of want to get some food in me. I'm going to holler at y'all good brothers. Bump, you already know I will talk to you later, cuz I love you. Jerrell, anytime, you're welcome.
Peace.
Talk of the town. I got to holler. Bump, I love y'all.
You too, cuz. Much love. Right.
Wait, I need
That
to hear
being
you saying,
said,
though. You
we're
gotta
going to get ready to close out.
I need to hear you saying. Say your shit so I can.
Hold on, hey, Coast. I want to say something to you, little nigga. The other day, maybe a few shows ago, last week or two, you was calling me Quantit. So I want y'all to know I'm rocking the Shalari Quan joints.
No rap.
Bow, you know what I mean?
No rap.
Just flex for y'all, but
Okay.
I got the Shalari Quan joints on tonight.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Since you want to
I
call me
call him
Quantit.
Quantit. You know why I call him Quantit? Because when he rap, sometimes he want to be Raekwon, but then he'll try to freak it out and turn into Q-Tip, like that Q-Tip shit. So I just put them together and call him Quantit.
Quantit. What?
And that's the type of stuff we do on Sunday nights. So if y'all want to tune in for the laugh, for the Quantit jokes, Bump, could you say your saying so we can go, so we can Grammy speech it out?
Hey, yo.
No, great minds think alike. Say your shit, nigga. I love that shit. Say your shit.
Hey, yo, Eric.
So we
Let
can
me kick my freestyle, cause he be saying I can't rhyme. He be treating me like I'm an old head.
Word. Let me hear some, Bump. Let me hear some, Bump.
Don't encourage him. No.
Over here.
No, he got the mic. Great minds think alike. Yo, you lucky I don't remember it. So I need to say, say it.
Let me hear some, Bump.
No, cuz don't encourage him.
I got it.
He said Project Talk, Gush Park, minus the chalk, after dark. Don't be scared to walk through. 7:30, I send shots through your jersey.
Okay,
Lord have mercy, I cocked the 30-30 for those that ain't worthy.
Oh, come on.
Great
I'm the hype man, man. I'm your hype man, Bump.
Small minds discuss, son. Say your shit, Bump. Nobody want to hear this rap.
So I'm your hype man.
Come on, man. Nobody want to hear this rapping, dancing and shit. We feeling good. I know it. He just trying to keep
talk of the town. Yo, great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. I thank y'all for tuning in. We love y'all. If y'all in the Bridgeport area, channel 8877, check us out tonight, 12 o'clock to 12:30. Connecticut access, Connecticut public access.
Yes,
you know what I
Connecticut
mean?
public access. Check us out. And
I'm gonna drop the link.
Big homie Jerrell.
Also, too, got another card. I'm gonna drop that link
here on public access at a certain point in time. So if you don't mind, you will pop up on channel 7 to 788. You know.
Don't mind.
Okay. Just gotta but we gotta start letting the viewers know that a lot of these episodes will appear on TV. So, if you're self-conscious on how you look or anything like that on camera, it's okay. I don't care, but I'm just letting you know that some episodes will be edited up and formatted for television on public access. But other than that, I gotta go eat, Bump. I'll holler at y'all. I'm hungry.
All right,
peace.
I love y'all.
Thank everybody for tuning in. See y'all Sunday.
Bump,
you already know.
All right, Jerrell Bump, cuz love y'all, man.
Love
Much
y'all.
love. All right.